Welcome back to Love, Life, and Legacy, the podcast dedicated to helping you navigate these hypersexualized times. And in today's episode, the kids grow up so fast. And this week, my kids, my children, my chapter leaders are so grown up that they don't even need me anymore. That's right. This week, the European chapter is checking in to let you know what's going on in their chapter, and they're doing it on their own. They're going to interview themselves. They're going to update you on all the many cool things that are happening in Europe. And starting with them, the team, they're developing, they're growing. And what they're doing is they're making strides over there. So if you care about High Noon at large, you should know how it's growing geometrically around this world through our chapters, through these amazing new leaders. And if you care about Europe, well, by golly gosh, stay tuned. So let's get into the Europe chapter with Andronic and his team, Andronic and his angels.
Hey everyone, David, again, just say something, please. Say hello.
Hello.
Okay, we are on. We are on finally. Yeah, we just spent 1 hour troubleshooting audio problems, and it seems like all of our microphones are on. Everyone's in this, so we can start finally. This episode is dedicated to introducing the whole High Noon world to the Europe chapter team. You've already heard from some of them. David's here, and there's been multiple episodes already with him, plus a lot of people know him from the core program, of course. And there's Sandra here, my wife, who's also been on one podcast episode before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one that was kind of more interviewing us, our relationship. Yeah, but she's actually also part of the Europe chapter team. And so this episode is dedicated to getting to know this team, and we're going to share a few stories of how this trio came about, where we started, and how's it going, where we're headed next. So let's just perhaps introduce ourselves quickly, because maybe not the whole High Noon world knows who everyone here is. So this is Sandra.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sandra. I'm Andy's wife. What am I supposed to say, actually?
Yeah, what do you do?
Oh, okay.
Why are you here?
So I work in the area of controlling, so that's more finances. And I work full time, actually. So High Noon for me is not my job or anything. I'm here as a volunteer supporting this team.
Yeah. And David, of course, is already part of the High Noon gang.
Yeah.
Quite recently.
Yeah, I'm just a very passionate member of High Noon, first and foremost. And that's why I wanted to give like my whole life to High Noon. So yeah, I'm just a young, crazy Englishman who loves High Noon and wants to help.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, I'm here as well. I mean, I started already like a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. When I think about it now, with this High Noon Europe chapter work, and back then, like almost a year ago, I was recording an episode with Andrew, and it was just myself. And it's amazing to see that now it's me recording an episode with my team. And we wanted to structure this episode just first starting off with kind of bringing everyone up to speed of where we started. How did this team come about? And that actually started last year, December, here in Budapest, where we had our first Europe chapter workshop, let's say, event. And that was there was just a bunch of kind of unlikely things or unplanned things happened. I mean, David came there. I don't even remember how was it. I think you really wanted to.
How was it, David?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I was trying to remember this morning. I recall I was just busy during the core program. I was already volunteering there, and I was talking with Benji, and he was I think he got me to have a meeting with Andranik first and foremost. Like, he's the new European chapter leader. Just have a conversation. So we did. We got to catch up. We hadn't seen each other since like 2017 or 16. So, and I didn't really know him so well. So it's nice to kind of reintroduce myself. And yeah, so when I found out there was going to be a Budapest workshop, I just felt like I need to be there. I need to help. I need to support. And yeah, I booked a flight straight after
that. Yeah. 2017, back when you were my height still. That's when we first met. But yeah, and I remember also Benji, Andrew being very supportive that you should be there. They're very enthusiastic about this young guy who's apparently a future superstar of High Noon or something like that. So that ended up being like a kind of experience where we put you into emceeing. You gave a testimony as well, and that was kind of a good training ground for you to like try yourself out practically in an event environment with people. And I mean, Sandra, of course, was just the coordinator of that workshop and the one who was actually making it all happen, practically speaking.
Yeah, for me, I still remember when you applied for the job, actually. We were at a workshop and you were stressing so much about whether you're writing the right paragraphs and really introducing yourself well in a written form. And so I saw the journey basically from the very beginning. It was quite natural to join you and just be present. Yeah, the Budapest workshop, I mean, since I'm a local, it's the most natural thing to do the practical things or prepare the practical things for a workshop. So, and then it wasn't really a question whether I stay or not.
Yeah.
It was rather natural.
Yeah. Because from then on, I mean, still at that point, we didn't like exactly make a team officially, but we saw, that all of us, we kind of want to continue working together. And there came next year, I mean, this year, 2024. And we had, I mean, I set plans, let's say, to have like 3 events by the end of that first quarter of the year. And one of those was in the UK, and we made that happen with David, and Benji flew out for that as well. And but then the other 2, they were in Poland and Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And we traveled for all of those together. And basically, as, by the way, bless you.
Thank you.
Basically, as I think the chapter team just kind of came about out of the necessity for that. It was a very functional team because we were working together. We needed a group chat to communicate. We needed to coordinate our travels, our efforts, our preparations with giving talks. I was actually, already getting you both to give talks at the workshops. So, and the chapter team was born kind of in the midst of those events in March and April.
Yeah, and we started having these meetings every week almost, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still remember the first time because we were meeting about a workshop at the time, and then Andranik just said, "Hey, let's make a team." And it was all his idea. It was like, "Oh, really? Wait, so you want us to be on the European team too?" It was quite I wasn't expecting it. It was just kind of Andranik going, "Let's make a team. Let's do this. Let's make it more official." And it's been great ever since.
Yeah, I decided to assemble the Avengers.
Yes.
But it's better, no? It's better to work as a team than you alone and contacting everyone, preparing the workshops.
Yeah, that was the point where I was at first hesitating to make a team because I didn't really know why. Like, what purpose would the team serve? I knew that was expected of me to make a team at some point, but I wanted it to be very clear that this team, it exists for the sake of multiplying our work, like being able to do more rather than kind of offloading stuff that I anyway need to do. So I wouldn't want volunteers especially to just be doing the stuff that I need to do.
And that you're paid to do.
Yeah. But
I remember your internal
struggle with
struggle
that.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember talking with Andy Pock actually about this. Like he dropped this idea for me that like a team, making a team should serve that like kind of purpose of multiplying your work, or being able to extend further, or enable you to do more than you could just by yourself. And that was very good. And I started seeing how that could happen as we were doing these events. I started seeing, okay, like I need these people. I can do more with them than just by myself, for sure. So that's how it all started, right? And we've been rolling ever since then. And summertime, we were already like it was the third or second quarter of the year where we already, no, it was the third quarter where we made like our quarter rocks together. So we
second quarter.
Second quarter?
For the second quarter, yeah.
Because now is the fourth coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, anyway.
Yeah, because after the events in April, we did sit together to make new goals, and that was already together. We made those goals together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you involved us pretty early on, actually.
Yeah. So we started moving together now. Like the things that are happening in Europe are not anymore just my decisions, but they're the decisions of this team. And well, that's kind of catching us up to now, where we're wrapping up the third quarter of this year. Like end of September, we're gonna close out, and we're gonna move into the last quarter of the year, and we just have now a few meetings, during the weeks, and we realized this together, or I think you actually realized how much our to-do list has just grown.
Yeah, it's crazy. David, probably you also remember in the beginning it was very important that we also take notes, and then somehow the task became mine. So I started taking notes in the beginning. The notes were rather short. We had stuff to do for sure. Everyone had their own things to do, and everyone had updates as well, but it was quite short. And now this last one that I sent, I think this was our record so far. But in our chat, in our WhatsApp chat.
Yeah, we send the updates, the notes to the WhatsApp chat.
In the chat, you need to click read more like 3 times because there's so many things that we can update each other about and so many things to do. Some things parked as well. And yeah, it's just, for me, this is what shows the progress that we have, that we are really expanding. Yeah, for me, this is a very practical way of seeing how we're doing as a team, whether we're improving and there's more that we're doing together, or actually,
Yeah, and so I wanted to revisit with you guys a few of the events that we've had. And here, actually, I don't even want to say that much. I want to hear more from you about your experiences, because we want people to get to know us and the chapter, and what does it mean to be part of this Europe chapter, to do our activities, our work. I want to hear from you, how have the past few events and like past few, not just months, quarters been? What have you learned? Where has that taken you personally as well? So how do we usually start that with our, just like in our meetings when
David
we have
is
prayers.
always first.
Yeah, David is always first.
Yeah. So like, how's the experience been so far, right, over the last almost year? Yeah, it's crazy. I think first and foremost, I want to mention how easy it was for me to work with Andrea and Cassandra. Like, we just, our friendship started just like that. Like, it was so easy to like these guys. I was like, yeah, I can really see myself working in a team. But I think, our experience has been that of, we take on some rather bold, adventurous decisions, like going to a country that maybe doesn't know High Noon so well, or doesn't know the content, and we're bringing together young people who maybe are struggling in their faith, or maybe they have some serious issues that they are trying to overcome. Well, we have no idea. Like, we have no idea what that community is like. And yet we go out, just the 3 of us. We're relying on the homes or the the community centers of different communities. We're not in a familiar place, and we just give our program, we give our workshop, and that's a very kind of cowboy style, like pioneer, adventurous thing to do. But I think because of our strong teamwork and our organizational skills, I think it's been very there's been no disasters at all in our entire year of working together. I don't think there's been a single time where we went, yeah, that was a total flop of a workshop. Like we've not had any of those so far. And I think that's down to the fact that I believe we're doing the right thing. Like what we're really providing for people is very godly. It's very needed for people. I think God's definitely on our side when we go out and we present these, the content and the workshops. But also our ability to work well as a team has really, we push each other to be more, to grow and to improve. The amount of times that I came down from a talk and then Sandra's like, okay, here's a list of things you can improve on.
No, come on. It wasn't like that.
I'm joking. But no, I really appreciate that kind of stuff because it's really like helped me to learn and grow. And then, there's times where Andranik just needs a massage because he's exhausted, or Sandra just needs someone to like, give uplifting words. And I think that's been that's been a really good part of our team, is just really looking out for each other and helping each other to grow. So yeah, it's been really good this year.
Okay, and that's a more general kind of scope. And
I want to correct you. I didn't come to you after a talk to immediately show you a list of things to do. No. But yeah, I do, I do look at you, David, as a brother, as my brother, right? So I want you to grow. And sometimes that comes through embrace. Sometimes that comes through encouraging words and trust. And sometimes it's letting you know about the areas where I know you can improve. And if you do those minor little changes, because I was never saying to you that, oh, this whole thing was trash, but certain small things that if you change, then actually the whole quality of, let's say, a testimony can turn around completely. So, and I'm really glad that you never came to me afterwards like, wow, you're such a critic. And but actually you really changed some of the things that I mentioned. And afterwards, yeah, I as a sister to you, I also felt that, oh, okay, it makes sense that I'm here. It makes sense that I'm also contributing. So yeah, anyway, that's just one part.
She's very right. Yes.
So we're practicing the 5 virtues, kind of. That's what we're trying to say.
Yes.
We are honest with each other, but we're also very graceful, right?
Yeah. Actually, for me, it's since I'm working full time next to this, sometimes it takes some sacrifices actually to go for certain workshops, to prepare, to after a whole day of working, come to our calls or something. But I do also know that, or not just know, but I also really feel that we have this very family atmosphere whenever we meet, whenever we talk. So it's nice to meet with my family, So our working together has been like that, actually. That me and my family is going somewhere to make a difference. That's just, in a very general way, this is how it feels working together with you two.
Okay, and where have we made a difference? Let's try to get into some specifics. If you can recall any moments that has stuck with you from these past travels together.
Yeah, I do remember this one time when, or anyway, it happened a couple times, but this one specific time when we went to Poland, and I'm really close with the sisters who are there, actually, because of our experiences with doing workshops there anyway, already outside of High Noon. And on one of the evenings, or it was already late night, actually, one of the sisters just took me back to the lecture hall from the dining area and asked if we could talk. And so we were talking and talking and talking, and she was just pouring out her heart. And I felt that she was capable of doing that because of all the content that we gave before, and because of all the love and embrace that we already showed before. And I will forever remember that moment when she was like completely offloading certain things, but at the same time, she was so grateful that I'm there for her, that we are there for these people. And a similar thing happened actually in Czech Republic. So some of you know her, Eliška. She was our main person in Czech Republic in Prague who was preparing all the practical things for the workshop. And yeah,
did a great job of
she
that.
was amazing. I mean, she was really amazing. She was preparing food as well for us before the workshop even started, just for the staff. And I remember after the workshop, we just sat down and we just talked. And sometimes we maybe forget that, you know, we have the staff and we have the participants, and we mainly focus on the participants when we go for a workshop. But there, after the workshop, I was like 100% focused on her. And I feel that was such a good decision, but also from her that she again opened up, she again, offloaded certain things. And I just feel that, if we can take that step of not just taking care of the participants, but also take care of our staff members, that's how we can have like this wholeness with our workshops. So anyway, these two things I just really remember for making a difference in specific people's lives, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and David, actually, you've been present on every single workshop so far, right? So how's that been? Like, any specific moments, memories come up?
Yeah, I think for me, one thing that stood out over all the other things was we have this part of the workshop in the schedule called the lifting shame activity, which is always an incredible moment where, you know, you split off, brother group, sister group, you sit around in a circle, however you want to do it, and you just answer two very simple questions, but they normally go very deep. And it's, what are you most proud of in life? And what are you most, I think it's ashamed of in life? Or what do you regret most? Like those two questions. What are you proud of? What are you ashamed of? And that brings out a lot in a person, because they really search deep. And that's normally the atmosphere where people show their true colors, or who they really are, and are able to share everything without feeling judged or, you know, afraid. Sure, it might be scary to share such deep things, especially when it's about your past struggles, but we create that wonderful atmosphere where they are able to share. And every single workshop I've been on with the brother groups in Budapest, in London, in Prague, in Warsaw, every single time it's just an incredible experience where those brothers that I'm sitting with, they just share everything, and they're so honest and they're so loving towards each other. Like I've had even moments where guys are laughing because they enjoying each other's presence, and like even though they're sharing deep stuff that can be quite emotional, it can be quite hard for them, they actually laugh at the end because they're like, oh, you're my brother, this is amazing, thank you so much for listening, thank you so much for sharing. Like there's a real powerful atmosphere that's created there. And I, you know, in London especially, I've known those guys for many years and never knew some of the stuff that they shared. And it was so wonderful to go, wow, I really know you now. I know you as a person. And despite all of your flaws, I don't judge you for that. I see you as your proper value, right? As a son of God or a daughter of God, right? That for me has been, yeah, an increasingly incredible experience each time I go on a workshop.
Yeah, that's very, like, that's amazing. You know, I think the environments that we create, they're somehow very conductive to such experiences, because they're very honest, very truthful, very transparent atmospheres. And so has it not been too much? Like, do you guys feel supported? Can you handle it?
You know, actually, to this, I can react because actually, this past week has been rather difficult for me from many angles. And it's just very interesting that since we're doing this work for High Noon, I'm constantly reminded that we have these values, we have these core values that we want to live by. And so my week has been rather difficult. And yesterday, especially. But I have these two people that I work together with. And
well, one of them you live together.
Well, yes. But still, yesterday I did have the choice whether to just cry alone or actually be open, be vulnerable, and share with you guys. And so I did get a very nice message from David in the morning, reminding to, or just wishing me a nice day or something like that. I just really remember that it was a very nice gesture.
Hey, I wanted to let you know about the Radiant program. What's the Radiant program? If you are a young blessed couple that was blessed in marriage sometime in the last few years, then this program is just for you. It is a couples intimacy program for young couples, and you can join with your spouse, you can join without your spouse. We've got group discussions and community for men and women separate, and also we have opportunities for you and your couple to dive deeper into God's word, into the word of true parents, and learn how to experience an absolute sex relationship. So if that's you and you want to join, check out somewhere in this video, this episode, and below, or go to highnoon.org to check it out. All right, hope to see you there.
And I knew that we are going to meet because you're picking me up in the city to go home. And I did have the choice whether to reply to David that, thank you very much, and that's it, or actually open up and say that, actually, I had a terrible day. And so I did the second one. And I was met with so much love and so much care. And I felt like, oh, I have my brother, next to me, not physically, but we're still, I have a brother out there who wants the best for me and who remembers my value and makes me remember my value. And then we met. And instead of just saying, yeah, it was a tough day, but anyway, tough days happen. And yeah, I managed to just cry it out. And then Andy was so graceful. He just hugged me and let me cry it all out. And so I feel that, through this work, yes, there's a lot of investment always that we put into the workshops, into the meetings, into reaching out, into all kinds of things. And especially at workshops, it can get really intense for us. But knowing that I have my family here who is supporting, it's totally doable, actually. And I'm even benefiting that even when we're not talking about High Noon work, I have people in my life who are really supporting me. So that's just also a recent experience, but it's not just now. It's been like that for a while now.
Yeah, that's the kind of secret superpower that not a lot of people know about. Of being part of High Noon circles is kind of like a superpower in life. We get to benefit a lot from the community and the family that we have.
Because I could have gone into behaviors that would have not supported me at all. I could have just gone to Instagram and scroll endlessly because that's something I could have done, or decide not to share and just completely avoid people around me. But yeah, we're reminding other people to not do that and instead choose connection. And so when I see that, for me, it's already coming automatically to connect instead of scrolling, instead of avoiding conversation. This is how I feel that, okay, I'm really benefiting from being here, actually.
Yeah, no, I really agree with what Sandra said. I think, especially as we're very public figures and we're constantly serving others, people might have this kind of false assumption that we are like perfect people and like we're superheroes that have nothing to lose, like we're really perfect in the way we do things. That's very far from the truth. We all have our bad days, we all have our struggles, and yeah, I've had to deal with that myself, is kind of having this ego of like, oh, I'm being a good person, I'm doing good things. That's kind of filling my ego. And then my conscience going, yeah, but come on, bro, like you have struggles, like don't get big headed. You have to stick to, who you are truly. And if you have struggles, share that. So I've never had an issue with sharing my struggles with Andranik and Sandra during our team meetings once a week. If I am having a bad week, I'll just let them know. And I think it's helpful because then I'm not showing a false version of myself, right? I'm not pretending to be someone else. And even recently, I asked for a mentor, from the core staff, because I felt I need someone I can share my emotions with openly. I really want to help people more, and I feel like I can do that even better if I have someone else older than me that I can, lean on for support. I can offload any heavy emotions, because yeah, we talk to many people, and sometimes they share some really heavy stuff
Yeah.
that can actually affect us. It's good to be able to share that with someone, not just to absorb everyone's pain, but then to release that in a healthy way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've definitely
That's
found that's very healthy.
yeah, that's exactly what worries me the most often, and that involving people into this work, and especially as volunteers, it's double-sided, right? Well, one side of it is, yeah, of course, it's very meaningful and fulfilling work, because it's so raw in some sense. It's so real. We get down to the main business of like what
Mm.
we're trying to make as a movement in general globally, right? It all comes down to, yeah, creating families. I just read the quote yesterday, that the kingdom of heaven, like something like the kingdom of heaven starts from establishing a good family, like the true parents' words. It Yeah, this work in High Noon, it connects, I think, us very much to like this kind of original spirit, and what this movement, we believe, has always tried to be, is this movement that uh, brings to the world these families that are healthy, God-centered, whatever. But the other side of this work, of course, is, like you mentioned, we hear a lot of stuff. We're like sponges collecting collecting a lot of stories from people, and we're trying to help them and liberate them, by offering them grace and offering them resources, offering them just our presence sometimes. But I remember when we were traveling both from Poland and from Czech Republic. We were going by car there. We were going back to Budapest. In those times, both journeys we cried.
Yeah.
Both journeys we had to offload to each other, just somehow, like all the things that we collected there, because it's sometimes very painful, and understanding other people's pain is, it's difficult, and it has a toll on us. So it's not to say that we're traveling around and kind of making a difference everywhere. No, we're also trying to understand people and what's going on, and trying to be just helpful in however we can. And it's very interesting that kind of has evolved into something else in the UK now for you, David, as well, with your BFD community recently, with suicide prevention work that started now. And that's just kind of somehow like a byproduct of, okay, we happen to make these environments where people are very honest, and we hear from people a very true version of how they're living, what they're going through. Suicide, unfortunately, has come up many times already.
Yeah.
And although we're not in any way, shape, or form specialists in treatment and helping people in that sense, but we happen to be the ones who know what's going on, and that it's a much bigger issue actually than many people might expect. And so then we end up, having opportunities to contribute to our movement in different areas as well. Recently, we just had a Blessed Couples retreat as well, which is also, it's not necessarily absolutely High Noon's focus, like working with already blessed couples. It's
starting to.
We have a Radiant program, of course, and but somehow, just through the Radiant program, actually, like both of us are facilitating there. Also, this interest in making a Blessed Couples retreat and creating a space for couples to meet in person as well, and like it just sprung up, and then we end up being these people who can help that project happen. And we had a great collaboration with the BFD as well, to make that happen last weekend. And yeah, so this work has lots of these benefits and also struggles coming with that as well. Yeah, so I want also to ask you both, then what inspires you about the work that you do, and kind of what keeps you going, really, like at a core level, what keeps you going? Why are you, David, why are you so passionate about Hainan? And Sandra, why are you still
Why am
offering your free time?
my work holidays, my everything?
Yeah. No, it's a good question because it doesn't make total sense logically for us to be like positive human beings in this world. Logically, it makes no sense that we're happy or trying to give happiness to others because we live in a world which is crazy. You know, we live in a world with a lot of pain, and people sometimes can't even cope with their own struggles and their own suffering to even have any space in their minds to think of other people's well-being or other people's care. What I've really found is I'm more peaceful with myself when I am helping other people. I mean, this is the point of our existence, right? The one main principle God gave us as human beings is to live for the sake of others. And so I feel in our role in the European chapter, that's what we're doing. We're living for the sake of our community. And so even when it does feel tough, when it feels like it's too emotional to bear, you know, what we're dealing with, I just continuously feel inspired to keep going. And there have been times even this year where I've really felt tested in my faith. Like, am I strong enough to carry on doing this work? Am I strong enough to even be an exemplary blessed child? And there are times where it feels so close to just give up. And then I always just feel like, yeah, but when I am working with High Noon, when I am doing this for other people, that's when I feel most alive. That's when I feel most happy about life, about myself, about everything. So I'm just continuously getting more and more inspired by what we do. And yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to do even more as well.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, actually. I can also say that, yeah, it's been part of my upbringing that I'm constantly doing something for our movement, for the community, for other people. It's just the natural state, kind of, that all the time I need to kind of get out in order to work and get money for our future life. But I really feel that whenever I'm in the state of doing something for other people, that's my natural state, actually. That's when I feel the happiest. That's when I feel that my presence makes the most sense, that I can give the most. So that's my natural state, honestly.
Yeah, I would say that somehow God can sometimes be a very elusive concept, and we all have our own definitions. But it's there's that one side of how we describe God and how we try to theologically understand Him, but there's another point of how we experience God, and what you both are saying to me just sounds like the experience of God, right? In some sense, and as abstract as that sounds, but I think we all get it, like how that liveliness that we feel, that somehow like this energy coming from just thin air, right? I mean, I think that's what drives us. And we actually quite recently was it that at least I know that for myself I set this kind of mission statement or vision for Europe, but I think I told it to you as well, that we want that there's not a single corner in Europe where there's no love of God, where God's love doesn't reach, like something like that. And it was just a natural result of our work that we came to that kind of moment of articulating that as a vision, right? as taxing as the work sometimes is emotionally, and like how heavy it is, but we come out of that not with like, okay, now I need a holiday and kind of chill out and take the time for myself, but we come out of that feeling like, okay, and now we're gonna do it bigger and more. We're gonna go to an even more difficult place. Yeah, so that's incredible, and I'm so happy to have you guys that you're very willing to tag along.
It's there's also this other part where often what I heard about your mother is that when she goes to sleep, she's crying a lot, and that's why her pillowcase needs to be changed very often, because it's always wet from her tears, and that's why she doesn't sleep that much. She sleeps maybe 3 or 4 hours at most every night. And I was thinking, yeah, once I understand that there's pain in someone's heart, once I understand that my younger brother or sister, or even someone who's our age, is struggling with very serious things, and let's say porn and masturbation habits are very serious, but also relationship with parents, it's also very serious, or not understanding your own value, that's quite serious. So once I understand that there are people out there who need support, who need a little bit of guidance, I cannot just sit back and relax. I cannot just stay at home and not do anything about it. Because once I'm aware, often it feels that everything else I do is a waste of time. That when I'm not there to actively do something about it, to help, to support, to talk to that person, then it's almost like a waste of time sometimes. Obviously, I should never go to extremes where really, really everything feels like a waste of time, because that's also not true. We also need to build our family. I also need to put energy into building our relationship, putting time into finding a home, finding an apartment, and so on. But at every other time when I think about what am I going to do next, how am I going to spend my weekend, yeah, can be tiring, obviously, to go, let's say, and if I think about fall, I mean, autumn, it's going to be crazy with how many things we're going to do, but at the same time, it's the right thing to do. And if I want to liberate people's hearts and really bring God's light into all these different places, it's just the right thing to do. And I know that by the end of the year, if I go with a plan, I will be a bit more relieved, and I will feel that, okay, it makes sense that this is how I spend my time, and my contribution also matters.
Yeah, and speaking of that crazy, let's get crazy now.
Oh, should I pull out the list from the last meeting?
Oh no.
Well, our next stop. Now, I don't know when this is gonna come out, so either our next stop is Slovenia, and we're very excited for it, or we just came back from Slovenia, and guys, it was great. It was an amazing. But that's okay. At the time of this recording, that's our next stop, is a workshop in Slovenia, in Ljubljana, and we're very much looking forward to that. I think that's kind of uncharted territory for Hainun. Yeah. And that's going to be at the end of September, last weekend of September. If this does come out before that event, shout out to the Slovenians, Croatians, and a huge invitation for everyone to join that workshop.
Shout out to Julia, who's supporting us practically as a local person.
Yep. Then moving forwards from that, October, we have
Empower first.
Yeah. We're going to visit the Empower folks with David.
We're coming for you.
Yeah. And David, we're going to have a bit of a road trip together, right? So we're going to be at Empower together, and then we're going to go to Glanov to the blessing preparation workshop there.
Yeah, organized by
BFD. David's going to participate there, but we're going to still travel together. and we're gonna come back to Budapest. And quite surprisingly, another event came out in October, which is Belarus. And that's the end of October, 25th, 27th of October, I think. So we're not really sure yet how we're gonna go there, but we have a plan. We have an idea, and we have actually some people supporting us now. Because Belarus is well, anyway, for those of people who are not from Europe or not so familiar with, say, European political, geopolitical kind of situation, it's a bit rough at the moment.
It shows our motivation that despite a war, we still want to go and put on a workshop in a country where they don't really like us. So that shows our motivation.
Yeah. I don't think that there's that much risk necessarily with going there, but it's more of a border, we feel. There's a border that we feel that we need to cross, because really, there's these whole political conflicts now between East and West, and Russia and the rest of Europe, and Russia, Ukraine, of course, and there's a lot of, I've personally talked with a lot of people and see how these conflicts, they create borders of the heart as well, because now we cannot speak to certain people, we cannot be in the same room with certain people. Just, I'm coming from Lithuania, and we have a very tough relationship with Russia, and I really understand it
as a nation.
Yeah, as a nation, but at the same time, it's kind of part of our identity in this movement that we just we cannot really bring joy to God. Like God's ideal for this world, for the creation, for us, will never be complete unless we all really manage to find a way to get along, and that's why we have to go at least to Belarus. That's I think the lighter version still.
So shout out to the Belarusian national leader who invited High Noon. We really are grateful for that. Then afterwards, running to Italy.
So I'm sure that this episode will come out before that. So shout out to all of the Italians, and a huge invite to all Italians actually to come along for the workshop, which is going to be November 9th and 10th.
Yes.
That's going to be a weekend. So we're very much waiting for everyone, for our Italian brothers and sisters to come along to, I think it's going to be Bergamo, pretty sure.
Well, let's see. But also, again, shout out to the Bergamo team, or the community leaders, who are incredibly amazing to work with. They're super practical, and I really like working with practical people. So it's very good to have a local team that we feel that they are really going to take care of everything. Very well. Yeah. Then,
well, it's
hopefully
it's pretty much confirmed. The next weekend is Budapest. After that, so it's kind of full year, kind of going full circle. We started in Budapest, and we're gonna come back to Budapest again. That's gonna be November 16th, 17th. That's a weekend as well. And again, shout out to all Budapestinians, Hungarians, and the surrounding countries. Come along. We're gonna have a great time there at that workshop. It's great to revisit this community. I mean, for me, it's not even revisiting anymore. I just moved here recently, so.
Yay! But what are you guys actually looking forward to? I mean, we listed the things, but how do you feel about them? What are you looking forward to?
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, meeting the communities first and foremost. Meeting new communities, new people. It's a new opportunity to touch someone else's life. One workshop, you might have 25 people join, and only one person really gets something from the workshop. But then that's one person that you've changed their life, right? So if we go and we help 10 people to improve their life, or 20, it's just a really incredible thing to think about. Like, we can go out there and really help someone with their life. So that's the thing I'm most looking forward to, apart from traveling with you guys, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
I'm well, first of all, I'm just excited to get back on the road again. August was kind of a break for us, break time. We were preparing a lot of the stuff that we're just now talking about.
Yeah.
It was August was preparing for everything, but now we're gonna come back on the road, travel, see the world again. And if I'm very honest, I'm really excited about Belarus because it has that extra risk factor. It just has this like it's uncharted territory. I have been to Belarus before, but I was a child. I don't remember anything. And somehow this like east, moving east from Central or West Europe, is just the community there is so different. It's such a artistic community and such a I really believe like a very like spirit oriented community where they're always trying to do as much as possible for others. Like that's been my experience of our brothers and sisters in Russia, in Belarus, Ukraine. They're very serving towards each other, and I love that. And I feel like in Hainun we haven't been able yet to offer that much for that world because we're quite limited in language. Like we don't have that much offering, let's say, in for Russian speaking people. We're working on that. We're trying to make that better. And I think just this event is going to be, it requires us actually to prepare a lot, not just the program, the event, but we're going to need to invite these people later for something. And that means we need to step up our game in the programs.
Have
and like
Russian speaking facilitators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not only excited about that event, but the like what it invites us to do, what it calls on us to do.
To develop, grow, expand.
Yeah. So, but of course, I'm looking forward to every single event as well, and just getting back on the road with you guys. I love road tripping. I love traveling. So yeah. And
well, I'm really looking forward to celebrating your birthday in October together as a team.
Oh, come on, we don't need to say that.
But it will be really nice,
We're gonna make a big party for him. Chapter leader. It's gonna be parades, trumpets in the streets.
A whole piñata,
Oh my god. Okay, the piñata I would consider. No.
Otherwise, I'm also looking forward to having Sammy join for the November events, actually.
True.
Yeah.
It will be very nice to see him again. He's a great older brother. Yeah, so that's like another thing. Yeah. I'm also just generally excited to meet with the people from Slovenia, from Italy. Yeah. To Belarus, I will not be able to go, but to wherever I can go, I'm always going with this curious mind of how is everyone doing there? What is it that they need and we can offer maybe? So yeah, also meeting some friends because I have friends all around as well. So.
Yeah. And I wanted to close this out since now we covered kind of the backstory, where we're at currently, where we're going next, and I hope people could get a sense as well of what we're about, how we are as a team. That if anyone listening to this who's especially from Europe, sorry everyone else, but someone who's in Europe and feels inspired by this and feels called to this kind of work, maybe you're already participating on our programs and you wish to contribute more. If what you hear from this episode here inspires you or interests you, would like to maybe be like offer your bit more of your time, ideas, volunteer a little bit. I can't promise too much, but maybe perhaps even travel together or like host an event in your country. That's like a big thing actually. Then please reach out please reach out to us, because we're very much open to work together. And as you could hear, this team came about just through circumstance, just through big desire from David. He made it himself available, and he just came to Budapest that first time. And and that's how we roll. We're very open. So we would very much love to do an event in your country, if your country has not been mentioned yet. If anyone would like to kind of contribute to the Europe chapter in some way, shape, or form, through their time, through their ideas, through many ways, we're open. Looking forward to hearing from you. But otherwise, any last thoughts from anyone?
Yeah, let's bring about a Europe of no shadows, where we can achieve Andranik's goal of God touching every corner of Europe. Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm confident that it's our goal now already.
It's our goal indeed. Yes, I shared the goal. He's not crazy, I assure you.
And I think it's not somehow a goal that is coming from outer space or somewhere. It's I think many of ours desire. It's not that we're so special in somehow or different from anyone else here in the continent, in the region. Like, we're all working towards the same purpose, and I guess we just have our own also niche area and our own ambitions, and we hope that moving forwards as well, our collaborations that we've had until now already can continue growing as well, with BFD, with youth departments of different countries, because I think we're all in the same boat in some sense, and we're all just trying to win this game.
So let's win it together.
Yeah.
What I'm personally really also looking forward to is collaborations, working together more with BFD, working together more with other organizations that we have in our region. So yeah.
Okay, so let's close this out. Thanks everyone for listening. This is the Europe chapter. We're going places until the end of this year, at least, for sure, and next year I think it's gonna be even crazier, actually. I think about it. I think about our plans. So keep following us, or follow our journey. Actually, another thing is that we will be trying to document more of our journeys moving forward, so that it's not just podcast episodes, but we will try to be we will try to kind of record some things and keep track of our next few events, so you'll be able to follow along the journey with us. So stay tuned for that, and bye everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Hey, did you know that our team wants to do more events? Well, if you want to bring the High Noon message to your community or group, then let us know and we'll try to work something out. There's a simple application that you can fill out right now at highnoon.org/invite. And one of our team members will get back to you to see what's possible. That's highnoon.org/invite. All right, see you in the next episode.